Hello, we are Group 9. Today we're gonna talk about financial statements, analysis, and business valuation of Saigon Beer Alcohol Beverage Corporation, which is known as Sabeco. Firstly is the company overview. The Sabeco name is Saigon Beer Alcohol Beverage Joint Stock Company. With a team of highly skilled engineers and designers, Sabeco prides itself on its ability to deliver innovative and user-friendly products that empower customers to achieve their business goals. Next is their vision and mission. Sabeco's vision into Vietnam's leading beverage industry group with the position in the region and internationally. About their mission, they contribute to the development of the Vietnamese beverage industry on with the world and promote the culture of Vietnamese people, improve the lives quality and ensure development towards international integration. About the resourcing strategies, as one of Vietnam's largest companies, Sabeco seeks skilled and experienced talent, especially at the middle and senior management levels. And Sabeco aims to complement its domestic market expertise with global innovation and their best practices, enhancing its operational product quality and customer service. Next is the organizational structure that you can look at the board. Next is the process of formation and development of Sabeco from 1875 to 2017. Next.
We will go to into analysis of the business situation. The first is the analysis of macro environment through the past plus two model. The first is the political factor. About the political stability, Vietnam is a country with stable politics and an increasingly improved legal system. This is one of the outstanding strengths, creating favorable conditions for the business. About the tax policy, beer and alcohol in Vietnam must pay tax at the post state, is import state, and the domestic consumption tax includes three different types of the tax. Is the import tax, value-added tax, and special consumption tax. The new taxes may cause difficult for the beer and wine business in the production business as well as investment and development. This will make the cost of beer and wine products high, affecting price competitiveness, especially compared to the drink not subject to a special consumption tax, such as the soft drink and mineral water. About the environment law, while the trade restriction non-tariff barrier in Vietnam provide domestic competitive opportunity for the Sabeco, the Vietnamese government is applying quota, special consumption tax, and advertising control on import beer. This has Sabeco reduce competitive pressure from Heineken, Budweiser, and maintain domestic market share. The second is the economic factor. About the economic growth rate directly and strongly affects the growth rate of the business sector. And Vietnam had the economic growth recover strongly. Inflation rate, Vietnam inflation rate tend to increase. The increasing trend of the inflation not only increase the cost of the growing for the business, but also increase input costs such as the raw material, labor, transportation, leading to the increased product price, which may affect the consumption process and the market expansion. About the disposable income of the consumer, beer and alcohol is a favorite product whose consumption depends largely on people income as well as the development of the economy. In recent years, our country economic has tended to increase, leading to increase in the per capita income. As people living standard increase, the demand for beer, wine, and soft drink will also increase. About the rate data from the state bank shows that in the first 6 months of the 2024, both leading and deposit increase rate decrease. Favorable interest rate condition create motivation for Sabeco to invest in technological innovation or the expand market share, especially in the context of the competition with Heineken or Sabeco. About the exchange rate, in recent years, foreign exchange rate have tended to increase. The fluctuation in exchange rate will affect the price of the input material and affect the revenue and profit of Sabeco. The third is the social factor, population growth rate. About the population growth rate, Vietnam had a stable population growth rate. It helped to maintain and increase the potential customer base for the P&Y industry. About its distribution, Vietnam has a young population structure. The young proportion of the working age population and young people create a great advantage for the Sabeco to maintain consumption output. For the health, customers are increasingly concerned about their health, especially among urban young, leading to a trend of reducing alcohol consumption, especially high alcohol beer. At the same time, communication campaign for the government and health organization warning about the harmful effect of the beer and alcohol abuse had contributed to a degree in the regular beer consumption. For lifestyle, drinking beer and alcohol during holiday and wedding has become a habitat of Vietnamese people. In addition, Vietnam highly value nation spirit, so consumption product of the domestic campaigns. Vietnam people prioritize using Vietnamese good, great favorable condition for the Sabeco. And finally, its income level. As the Vietnamese people income increased steadily over the time, consumption tend to spend more on beer. At the same time, they tend to shift to higher end segment for the population beer to a premium. Important beer like Sabeco can take advantage of this to reposition its product promotion, promoting premium beer like such as Saigon Gold or Saigon Special to competing with the foreign brand.
Let's talk about the technology factor. In recent years, Sabeco has strongly invested in technology to improve pole efficiency and sustainability. In 2024, they opened a new R&D center using European technology. This helped them develop better products and stay competitive in the market. They also apply automation and big data to cut labor costs, improve product quality, and predict maintenance needs. On top of that, Sabeco focused on sustainability by saving energy and water, which help them meet global environmental standards. Next, we had the demographic factor. Vietnam had a young population. Over 60% of the 98 million people are under 35, and many of them prefer beer. This creates a strong and growing demand. In 2024, Vietnam consumed 3.8 million liters of beer, placing it third in Asia. Sabeco held a 43% market share, especially in cities like Ho Chi Minh City. Finally, let's look at the global factor. Currently, exports only make up about 1% of Sabeco revenue, so they mainly focus on the domestic market. However, Vietnam has signed many free trade. This agreement gives Sabeco opportunity to export more to Europe, Japan, and Asian countries by reducing tariff and encourage higher production standards.
Next, I will talk about analysis of the microenvironment to the model of five competitive forces of water. First is supplier competitive pressure. Sabeco faces supplier power issue with key imported ingredients due to limited high-quality sources. They mitigate this by diversifying domestically and forming strategic partnerships. Their scale offers some leverage of fluctuating costs through supplier pressure. Effective supply chain management is vital for profitability and market leadership. The second is competitive pressure from customers. Sabeco faces strong customer pressure in Vietnam competitive beverage market due to numerous choices and price sensitivity. This requires continuous innovation and quality improvement. Customer demand convenient shopping across channels and large retailers apply this pressure on pricing and placement. Adapting to evolving customer needs is crucial for Sabeco competitiveness. The third is competitive pressure from potential competitors. Sabeco faces rising competition from Heineken, Carlsberg, and the Crow in non-mainstream beer segment. About 6% 6% in 2024. Sabeco's market share has slightly declined from 42% in 2018 to 34% in 2023, while non-mainstream beer share is up to 1.6% from 2023 to 2024, showing increased pressure. Sabeco needs to strengthen its position and monitor competitors. The fall in competitive pressure from substitute beer is projected to remain Vietnam's top alcoholic drink more than 90% through cultural norms support beer and wine for gatherings. The rapid rise of new beverages like soju and red wine present competition by meeting similar needs with varied pricing and quality. Sabeco has responded by rebranding Saigon beer to compete with Tiger in the mid-range and improving triple three beer for export. The last is internal competitive pressure. For years, Vietnam beer market has been dominated by Heineken, Sabeco, Corporate, and Habeco, collectively holding 94.4% market share in 2021. Heineken and Sabeco led with 78.3%. In 2021, Sabeco acquired 13.49% after tax profit margin and a low CapEx to revenue ratio of 1.25%, indicating strong cost management.
Next, I will present an analysis of the asset structure over the year by examining the proportion of key asset category from 2021 to 2024. We can better understand how the company allocates its resources and adapt its financial strategy to changing business conditions. And you can see we have the proportion of cash and cash equivalent, the proportion of financial investment, the proportion of short-term receivable, the proportion of inventory, the proportion of fixed asset, the proportion of long-term work in progress, and the last is the proportion of other long-term assets. And we have a conclusion that over 4 years, Sabeco has maintained an asset-light finance-heavy asset structure, prioritizing working capital and gradually reducing the share of fixed assets. Long-term production costs in progress have been streamlined, while the increase in receivable highlight the need to improve debt collection. Overall, this structure enables Sabeco financial flexibility, but needs a better balance between receivable turnover speed and long-term investment to ensure sustainable growth.
Next, we go to analyze financial autonomy. We can see the company has good financial autonomy. The self-fund ratio remain high, the debt ratio is low, and the debt to equity ratio also shows that there is not much dependent on debt. Although there are some slight fluctuation between years, the general trend still shows the stability and safety of the company financial structure. About the financial stability, we can see in the period 2022 to 2023, the company showed signs of better financial stability than in the period from 2023 to 2024, thanks to increase in long-term capital and equity. In general, the company has good financial stability. Long-term resort ratio is high, short-term resort ratio is relatively low, and especially our equity to a long-term resort is very high, indicating a strong level of the financial autonomy and low financial risk. And finally, we can analyze financial balance sheet. We can see net working capital remains stable and high, indicating the ability to ensure long-term financial security. Net working capital requirement is negative but improve over time, indicating that a company has control short-term cash flow. The length and continuously positive net fund reflect high autonomy and finance flexibility. Thus, the company has a healthy financial structure, good autonomy and low risk, and high solvency.
Next, I will show you about the analyze the factor affecting the efficiency of using current asset over 3 years from 2022 to 2024. First is disaggregating working capital turnover. We use the data of current asset turnover in between 2 years. That's 2022 and 2023, and we can see the current asset turnover between this period decreased by 0.066%. This was primarily due to a 0.084% decrease in current asset. And we had the same conclusion in the period 2023 to 2024. Next is disaggregating inventory turnover, and we can see the inventory turnover between 2023 and 2022 and 2023 decreased by 3.064%. The decline in inventory turnover compared to the previous period were due to a decrease in the cost of goods sold and a decrease in inventory. This might indicate that Sabeco may have reduced investment in product or face difficulty in sales, leading to slower inventory turnover. And in 2023 to 2024, the inventory turnover compared to the previous period was due to an increase in the cost of goods sold and an increase in inventory. This might indicate that Sabeco may have increased investment in its products, as a result of which the company product was sold faster. The last is aggregating account receivable turnover, and between 2022 and 2023, the account receivable decreased significantly by 92.141%. Specifically, the decline in account receivable turnover were primarily due to a decrease in net revenue and VAT. And between 2023 and 2024, the account receivable turnover decreased by 5.359%. The decline in account receivable turnover due to an increase in net revenue and VAT, but the increase was not significant compared to the substantial decrease in account receivable by 9.215%.
Next, I will present an analysis of operational efficiency from 2022 to 2024. The company used financial leverage actively with retained earnings consistently higher than borrowing costs. Retained earnings peaked at 21.10% in 2022, dropped to 15.82% in 2023, and slightly recovered to 16.82% in 2024, indicating stable profitability despite the decline in 2023. Return on asset measuring profitability on shareholder equity mirrored the trend of retained earnings and financial leverage. It was 23.31% in 2022, 16.99% in 2023, and 18.1% in 2024. The decline in 2023 was driven by the fall in retained earnings despite low borrowing costs, while the slight recovery in 2024 showed effort to improve profitability while maintaining high financial leverage. In 2023, the ratio dropped sharply from 0.10 to 0.6, indicating low cash conversion. Despite high revenue. This posed a risk of bankrupt due to its insufficient cash inflow. However, the ratio improved to 0.13 in 2024, showing better cash collection. The ratio of cash flow from operation to net income declined in 2023 but improved in 2024, showing with conversion of accounting profit to cash in 2023, followed by significant improvement. Overall, 2023 marked the weakest period in terms of cash flow, while 2024 showed promising signs of transformation with a clear improvement in cash flow generation efficiency.
We talk about the financial risk. When a company makes financial decision, choosing between equity and debt affects both profitability and risk. In this session, we analyze 3 different options for Sabeco. In the first option, when Sabeco use 100% of equity, the market situation ranges from bad with retained earnings 4% to good and all have positive return on equity. Profits in this case are not much affected by market fluctuations. In the second option, when Sabeco use 50% equity and 50% of debt, the more volatile the market, the more clearly return on equity shows the amplification of profits. And the last option, when the company use 20% of equity and 80% of debt, they are willing to accept risk or feel that the business is going well. For good business, the use of debt helps the enterprise achieve a strong increase in return on equity up to 22.4%, meaning that 100 Vietnam đồng of equity creates 2.4 Vietnam đồng of profit after tax and vice versa. Next is about the business risk. We analyze the mean of retained earnings is 8%, and the variance of retained earnings is also 8%, which determine the degree of dispersion when compared to the mean. Variance at 8% indicate greater variability in the dataset and can have a larger gap. About the standard deviation, we analyze 2.83, which shows the extent to which a fund's return can deviate from the expected value. And the last one is coefficient of variation, 0.35. The result of the CV means that for every 1% of the expected return earnings value, it can fluctuate by 0.35%. Therefore, the business risk of the company is quite high.
Next, we go to analyze insolvency risk of the enterprise. The first is the short-term liquid risk. About the current liability coverage, we have a current ratio. We can see Sabeco has maintained a current ratio above 2.8 for all 3 years, showing that the company's short-term liquidity risk is currently low. The company has enough short-term asset to cover its maturing debt. About the quick ratio, we can see overall the quick ratio is higher than 2 in all 3 years, indicating that the company is maintaining a very good liquidity level and is fully capable of paying a short-term debt with highly liquid asset. About cash ratio, we can see the company cash ratio in all 3 years was below 1. This means that the company doesn't have enough cash and cash equivalent to cover all of its short-term debt. A continued downward trend could be a warning sign of the liquidity risk if not well controlled in the following year. About cash flow ratio, Sabeco has the ability to generate unstated cash flow over the year. The company should continue to maintain and increase cash flow from operating activity, as such as it is the most sustainable source of finance to pay short-term debt. Stabilizing index have increased financial autonomy, reduce liquidity risk, and enhance reputation with partner and bank. The working capital turnover include we can analyze inventory turnover. we can see inventory turnover decrease in the 2023. This indicates that inventory is turning over significantly slower, lengthening in capital recovery cycle and reduce the efficiency of working capital. This ratio increased again in the 2024, indicating an improvement in sales efficiency and inventory management. Inventory turnover period increased from in 2023, then decrease in 2024. This trend indicator that 2023 is the slowest period of the inventory turnover, possibly due to excess inventory, reduced consumption rates, or unreasonable stocking policy. This can cause a problem with storage costs, risk of the product team, and reduce financial flexibility. About account receivable turnover, we can see this ratio tend to decrease sharply over 3 years in 2023 and continue to decrease in 2024. This indicates that the company is losing efficiency in collecting debt from the customer. The decline in the debt collection efficiency can cause a slow cash flow, making it difficult for the company to rotate working capital, while increase financial pressure and bad debt risk if the receivables are not collected. In addition, account receivable turnover period also tend to increase rapid over the 3 years. The second, we can analyze the long-term solvency ratio. About the debt ratio, we can see overall the company long-term debt solvency ratio are on a downward trend, indicating that its long-term financial position is quite stable and improving. The company is less dependent on long-term debt to finance its operation and asset, and it is better able to meet its long-term debt. The interest coverage ratio, we can see in 2022, this company pre-tax profit were many times higher than its interest rate, expense, and its ability to pay interest were very good. In 2023, the ratio dropped to that's lowest in 3 years, also still high. This decline shows that the company's ability to pay interest had decreased compared to the previous year, and the pressure to pay interest is higher than in the other 2 years. In 2024, the ratio jumped to indicating that the company's ability to pay interest is bad in all 3 years, and the financial risk associated with not being able to pay interest is low. With such a high interest coverage ratio, it can be seen that the risk of the company not being able to pay its interest obligation is low.
Next, we enterprise value is affected by changing depreciation method. Following the financial statement of Sabeco in 2024, the company used the declining parent method for depreciation, and the total depreciation expense will be the trail. Chuyện đấy. In the dividend-based valuation, the data reveal a substantial difference, nearly 9,400 billion Vietnam dong in depreciation expense, with the declining parent method resulting in higher figure and consequently lower profit before tax. This reduction in profit after tax directly impact dividend payments, potentially harming shareholder interest in the near term. While the declining parent method leads to lower depreciation in later years, boosting future profit and dividends. This positive effect is tempered by the increasing discount factor over time. Ultimately, the higher depreciation under the declining parallel method can depress the company intrinsic value and investor appeal, making the straight line method a more prudent choice in this situation. In earning pay valuation method, we applying the declining balance method significantly increase depreciation around 2,800 billion Vietnam won, low in earning before interest tax. This negative impact earning before interest tax value, while future depreciation decreases. Under this method could boost profit after tax in a dividend discount model. The increasing discount factor limited benefit. Overall, the straight line method seems better as a declining parallel method can undervalue the business and negatively affect key investor metrics like earning before interest tax and P divide E ratio. But with the free cash flow pay valuation, we had the different conclusion. Adopting the declining parallel method show a 560 billion free cash flow growth in 2019 because free cash flow valuation include depreciation, making corporate tax the main driver. This method is projected to improve near-term free cash flow through long-term free cash flow may decline. However, the increasing discount factor in free cash flow valuation minimize the impact of distant future cash flow on enterprise value. Therefore, for investor prioritizing free cash flow valuation, the declining balance method could be preferable to the straight line method.
Next, we will evaluate the performance of enterprise through residual income. To evaluate the performance of enterprise through residual income, we must calculate the required rate of return or WACC. Between 2022 and 2024, the company steadily grew its asset base and equity as reflected by the rising book value. However, a sharp drop in net income and a slight increase in WACC significantly reduced residual income. Despite the growth in charter capital, the rising capital costs and declining profitability hinder the company's ability to generate shareholder value.
Next, I will talk about the strength, weakness, opportunity, threats of Sabeco. About the strength, they strong the financial resources, revenue and profit saw the growth in Q2 and the first half of 2022, achieving 66% of the annual profit target. Reputable brand ownership, they re-own beer brands like Saigon Special, Triple Three, and Lager have received multiple international awards, held 40% of Vietnam's beer market share in 2019. About their weakness, public health impact, alcohol consumption lead to serious illness, including liver disease, heart conditions. WHO identifies as the direct cause of over 30 diseases. It also caused the traffic accidents and social violence. Alcohol and beer is a leading cause of traffic accidents in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. Early drinking before age 15 increase the risk of addiction injuries. Opportunity, the rising income, higher personal income has led to increased consumer spending, including beer consumption. Vietnam achieved its poverty reduction goal 10 years early. Growing beer market, Vietnam ranks second in Southeast Asia and third in Asia for per capita alcohol consumption, with high usage among men and younger age groups. The last one is threats, high market competition. The beer industry faces intense rivalry, with consumers increasingly seeking novelty over brand loyalty. Importance of brand poisoning. So Sabeco needs to establish a clear identity, deliver emotional messaging, and highlight unique strengths to stand out.
Finally, we can future forecast. The first is a balance sheet over the 2025 balance sheet forecast shows that the company is aiming for the safe financial structure, prioritizing maintain liquidity, reduce debt burden, and increasing long-term investment.
With the following the data from the table, we can see the 2024 financial result and 2025 forecast for Sabeco show an expected revenue from grow up 13% despite the increase in scale. Key indicators such as the core profit margin around 44.6% and net profit margin around 12.2% remain nearly unchanged compared to the previous year. This reflects the company's effective cost control and ability to maintain stable profitability at its growth. Overall, Sabeco demonstrates a solid financial foundation and consistent business performance.
We can calculate additional funds needed in 2025. The company will not need to raise additional capital from outside while still ensuring financial needs for business operation. This is positive financial side, reflect financial autonomy and effective financial management. And the presentation here is end. Thank you for listening.